Stop being so hard on yourself. Let me show you how different things can be when you use the 70% rule. There's this kid who loves to draw. Every afternoon, he draws and draws and draws. And the next day, he does it again. And the day after that, too. His mom thinks he has talent. So one day, she decides to start grading his drawings. She wants him to improve. So she says, "Son, it's time to take this hobby seriously. From now on, every time you sit down to draw, you can't get up until you finish a drawing that scores at least 95%. Almost perfect." So he sits down to draw at 4 p.m., like he always does. And half an hour later, he hands in his first drawing. His mom gives him a 70. "Put in more effort," she says. He focuses, draws and draws, and an hour later he hands in his second drawing. This time he gets an 85. Still not enough. He sits down to do a third drawing, turns it in, and scores an 80. His mom tells him again that it's not enough. And now he's fed up. He doesn't want to keep going. He wants to get up and leave. But his mom is determined not to let him until he gives her a nearly perfect drawing, and the boy doesn't want to disappoint her. Hours go by. It gets late, and he still can't do it. He feels sad for failing, and for the first time in his life, he hates spending the day drawing. The next day, after lunch, his mom asks, "Do you want to draw again?" And instead of saying yes, excited like always, he says, "No, I feel like riding my bike today." And that's how the boy quits drawing. His mom doesn't understand what went wrong, but take a look at this. If no one had pushed him, and he had drawn 100 drawings, these would have been his scores. See? He would have made 4 drawings scoring over 95%, 4 masterpieces. The thing is, he never got to them because he stopped here, at his 4th drawing that day, and gave up his daily practice. He stopped drawing every day because he stopped enjoying it. Drawing stopped being a joy and became a source of stress and frustration. His mom had good intentions. She wanted to push him to create a masterpiece, but creating a masterpiece isn't something you can decide to do. Picasso couldn't wake up one day and say, "Today I'll paint a masterpiece." A masterpiece is something that happens spontaneously, one day when you least expect it. You just show up and do what you do every day. You dance, you paint, you write, and you do it with love. And one day, magic happens. You feel inspired, and for some reason your performance is amazing, and the work you create that day turns out to be a masterpiece. The mom had good intentions, but by raising the bar so high, instead of helping her son, she made him stop enjoying drawing, and he gave it up. Okay, let's fix this mess. Let's give this kid a different mom. His new mom uses the 70% rule. For the kid, 70% is very achievable, so the fear of failing or being judged pretty much disappears. Now, every time he makes a drawing, his mom gets excited and claps for him. She congratulates him for being consistent and puts his drawing on the fridge. For a kid, having their drawing on the fridge is the equivalent of an adult posting a video, publishing an article, or performing in a theater. This new mom doesn't focus so much on the score. What she celebrates is her son's love for his work and his consistency, the fact that he always shows up for his daily practice. And then the boy rediscovers his natural love for drawing. Every day, he's excited to do his practice, pours his heart into it, and tries to do his best work because that's what he loves to do. Not needing it to be perfect allows him to relax, start, and enjoy the process. And I think it goes without saying, but this story isn't just about the boy. It's about you too. The reason you don't enjoy doing what you used to love anymore, the reason you don't enjoy your work, is because you impose the 95% rule on yourself. You want to make it perfect, so, of course, you don't feel like starting. And of course, you don't enjoy it. You think that pushing yourself harder will make you better. But here's the funny thing. People who push themselves too hard end up procrastinating and not doing anything. And people who don't push themselves so much, who focus more on enjoying their work and being consistent with their daily practice rather than on results or scores, end up gaining way more experience and achieving way more success over time. That's what the 70% rule is for. It takes the pressure off. The 70% rule is about demanding less from yourself, lowering the bar from almost perfect, 95%, to good enough, 70%. You stop pressuring yourself, and your natural love for your work comes back.